Hi, it's James here today. You know, when I was younger, my 20s and 30s, close to 40, I wasted a lot of money. Going to restaurants, having beers, buying dinners and stuff. But what I learned, as I got older, and from my older friends, they were, 60s, mid 60s, they're really frugal. They make their own pickles, make their own pasta sauce, can, jar, and they taught me how to live frugal. And the only thing I really do now, I don't go out to eat, and the only thing I like is like a takeout pizza. We had a couple good pizzerias in Windsor, Canada, and about once every 3 months, I do enjoy a good pizza. I'll spend a $35, $40 and have a good pizza. But living frugal, you can go to work every day, work overtime 7 days a week, which I used to do 7 days a week in the factory. And you're always stopping off Tim Hortons or Starbucks in a rush, you know, spending a lot of money. If I could calculate it up, I go out for lunch because I had a restaurant right next to the factory I worked at, and every day it was like $12, $13 for lunch. I could just walk there. But what I learned from my old friends is to be frugal. If your clothes ain't dirty, don't wash them. And for my dishes, I buy the cheapest paper plates. Because water's, to be honest, like I watch my water consumption on my bill for the energy. Paper plates are cheaper than just washing your plates and using water. And I don't understand that. Why they, clean water come into your home in your toilet to flush your toilet. The dishes I understand. But anyways, learn how to be frugal, cheap. I don't pay nobody to cut my grass or do anything. I do it all myself, and I don't worry about much. But unless, you like spending all your money. I don't like spending my money. I invest a little bit here and there. A little bit in the stock markets, a little bit in GICs, a little bit in TFSAs, a little bit in RSPs. And, it's nice when you see it grow a little bit. But you got to be prepared because sometimes you lose a little bit of money. But 10% of the time, you're going to win. No, I mean, 90% of the time. The stock market usually is 10%, it'll go up. That's basic average. But yeah, I wish I was frugal earlier in my life because I wasted so much money on going out, taking the young ladies out, drinking $100 bar tabs, steaks. If I would have invested that money, I'd have nothing to worry about right now, which I don't really have because I picked up the pace really fast. But if you're young, in your 20s, don't hand your money over to a bar, a restaurant, Taco Bell, McDonald's. Put it in the stock market, a good investment, or buy some land. If you want to buy land, that's the best investment. If I could do it all over again, I wouldn't even buy a house. I'd just buy some, half acre of property and park a trailer on it and live in the trailer. And just pay, because if you buy farmland, the property taxes are fuck all. And you can have somebody, like if you buy 50 acres, I know in Canada, in Windsor where I live, if you buy 50 acres, you can cash crop it. So virtually what that means is somebody will grow the field, whatever you do, soybeans, corn, and do all the work, and they pay you cash. So you don't do nothing. And you can plant a trailer on it, live in a trailer, which I would have no problem living in a camper trailer. I'm pretty low demand on anything. As long as I have a bologna sandwich, I'm good. But anyways, just a message from James today about, trying to live frugal. You know, don't try to have the biggest house or the nicest car. I drive a 2013 Chevy truck that's beat to shit, but it runs like a fucking top. Unreal. Lots of mileage on it. And gets me to point A to point B. And if I got to buy a new one, like for what I bought, a new one now is like 70 grand. You gotta be kidding me. For a fucking damn car that lasts 10 years? Not for me. I'd rather just fucking get a moped. Anyways, James out today.